Alright, so we're going to talk through the electric guitar parts for Better.you, and I am going to tell you right now, I 100% guarantee, absolutely, will definitely screw this up a couple of times. I haven't really had much of a chance to practice this since like 2 summers ago, so I'm a little bit rusty, and there's a lot of notes in there, and I'll definitely screw parts of it up, but hopefully I'll be able to kind of work my way through and show you how I do the fingerings, so that maybe if you're struggling at all or having trouble, you'll be able to see that and go, oh, that's how she plays that little figure. So, the beginning sounds a little bit like this. Section was a little bit rough, but hopefully that gives you a sense of kind of how I'm playing it. It's pretty straightforward. You know, the slides, you just want to think ahead to the fret that you're going and make sure that your hands get there. That chord that comes right on the downbeat, right at the repeat of the repeat of the chord progression there is just a G on the 7th fret. It's a partial that you already know. And I just play that whole chord right there with my first finger, and then catch the 8th and the 9th fret with my 2nd and 3rd fingers, just like that. And then I immediately slide that first finger bar up to 12 for this next figure. And hit 14 with my 3rd, and then hit 15 with my 4th finger. So, that's really it, and then the triplets. I just do, first and second on 9 and 10, and then pull on and hammer on and pull off on the 10th fret with my 3rd finger. You can do it however makes sense to you. That last slide in the intro figure, I did tab wrong on the sheet. I had transposed it at some point and just wrote it wrong. Instead of that slide from the 10th fret to the 17th on the A string, you want to do it on the D string. So, like that. And you'll hear it kind of land on that G. And it's going to make way more sense than coming up on the A string. That's wrong. Do it on the D string. So, when you get to the verse, you're going to be doing palm muted power chords in the verse until that D over, or the D to the D sus that you'll hear that. So, these power chords you already know. There's G, D, E minor. So, it sounds like this. Mute everything, those power chords, until you play that little D sus figure. And you really want to dig into those top 2 strings, like that. But you want to take your palm off, the heel of your palm off, so that rings out really clear. And then right back in, like that. Very simple. In the pre-chorus, you'll just kind of strum those open chords. Actually, as I'm playing it now, that sounds really messy. The acoustic is also probably going to be strumming those chords in open position right there. So I think it would be fine for you to either just be out for that, or to go ahead and strum it on a slightly higher partial. But you don't want to do anything more than like just strumming the open changes. No, not like that. And then D. just don't play there. But you can do that up there on those higher partials. I didn't write this down in your guitar notes because I'm just thinking through it now. I plan ahead. But that's just an E minor partial up on the 7th fret, so 7, 8, 9, 9. And then a D. So there's a big feel change from the verse to the pre-chorus and then back to the chorus. The pre-chorus is very different than the rest of the song, and that's really important because otherwise the song pretty much sounds all the same. So don't go any more than just strumming the open changes, and if even that's too much, you can always just drop out and be tacit, and that's fine. You'll kind of feel that out in full band, and Casey will help you navigate that. So when you get to the chorus, you have this really cool like lead figure that you get to kind of pepper in at the beginning of the lines, right over the whoa-woes, and it sounds like this. And that figure carries you over the G chord and the D chord. So when you go back to chords, you're going to be catching the chords back at the E minor. So the way I play that is I use my 1st and 2nd finger on the 7th and 8th frets, and then catch 10 with my 4th, and then I do that little hammer on again with my 4th, and then just kind of pull it down for a bar. Like that. Hopefully you can see my hands there. Whatever. You've been able to figure all this stuff out before. If you haven't been able to see my hands, you're pretty talented, so I'm not going to belabor that point. But that's how it kind of goes. And then when you go back to chords, you're going to be catching that E minor, and you're not going to be palm muting anymore like you did in the verse. You'll be playing unmuted chords. But this song has a very like relaxed feel, which I know sounds weird because the guitar, the lead guitar is just like screaming solos all throughout, and that's super cool. But it never has, I mean, you can hear it, it never has that really drivey, grungy feel that like One Way has, for instance. So you don't want to try and put that kind of energy into the song. You want to be sensitive to the character and the feel of this song. So when you go to play those chords, you're not like, but you'll do something more like this. Something along those lines. So it just, I guess what I'm saying is don't get too over aggressive with this song. We want there to be high energy in the chorus. You'll feel it out in full band. Have some fun with the song because this song's a really fun song. It's a good one to have a lot of fun with and to really hype up the crowd. But don't go super, super rock star over the top in the chorus there because that's not how this song feels. So when you get to the instrumental, there's that screaming rock and guitar solo and those really quick measures there in the middle. And I think I've tabbed them out for you pretty close to what is actually on the recording on your guitar note sheet. But I mentioned to you that I have adapted them in the past. When I was in Hong Kong, I didn't play those really fast measures because I just couldn't play that fast. And I thought, for me at least, it felt like a better choice to play something a little bit simpler and play it clean. And be able to actually have fun with the song than try and play this really complicated figure and screw it up every single time, as I knew I would have. So if you want to learn the true figure, great. That's awesome. Or if you want to adapt it, that's really great too. I'll show you what I play. What I actually do is right there where that figure starts, I jump back to the same figure that you would have played in the intro. And I carry that through until you're on that high bend on the 18th fret. And that's where I jump back to the actual tabbed instrumental line. So I actually do skip the fast triplets the second time around too, just because I think it flows a little bit smoother that way. But you can adapt as much of this as you'd like and leave in the fast triplets the second time around, or adapt as little as you like and play the whole original thing. Either one of those things is fine. But I will play you, or I'll attempt to play you, I'm sure I'll screw it up a little bit, but I'll attempt to play you the instrumental as I play it when I'm adapting that figure. So. I adapt it anyway. There were 1 or 2 wrong notes in there that I'm sure you heard, but you know what we're supposed to be playing there. But that's the section I'm sure you can hear where I dropped the actual instrumental line and picked up the intro figure. It's right there, like I said, at the start of that really, really fast run, and then I kind of do the next 2 measures like the intro plays them, that same figure that you play in the intro, just because I think it goes a lot smoother from that slow triplet rather than jumping right back into the really fast triplets, because then it's just triplet, 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 you know, like, it flows a lot smoother in my mind, and I think it's a little bit more musical to do it that way, but you can do it either way. The fast triplets are really fun and really showy, and that's pretty cool, so if you want to play those, you can totally play those. It's fine. It's not a bad thing to play those. I just prefer to keep that intro figure a little bit longer until that high bend on the 18th fret. Like that figure up there. And that's where I jump back into actually what's recorded in the instrumental. So, play it however is comfortable for you. You can adapt whatever you want. When you get back to that verse, you will be out for the first half, because that's where the cowbell comes in and everybody drops out so that everyone can hear the cowbell, because the cowbell is awesome. And then halfway through that verse, you'll pick right back up with the palm muted power chords that you had been playing before. Whatever they are. Back to the pre-chorus, which is exactly the same. Back to the chorus, which is exactly the same as before. And then the tag is just like a chorus for you. So you come right in with that lead guitar. And you'll hear, this time when you play it, you are not changing anything. You're playing exactly what you played in the chorus, but the vocals are changing what they're singing. So instead of coming in on the downbeat of the G and singing, whoa, they're holding off until, I think, the E minor. So you're going to play your thing. Whoa. They're kind of doing it in response to your line instead of you guys doing it at the same time. So I highlight that just to say, don't be thrown by the fact that throughout the entire rest of the song, you've been playing that line over top of the vocal woes, and then all of a sudden you're doing it alone, and then the vocal woes come in. That's how the song goes. In the tag, the woes are delayed, and it's kind of cool. But you'll actually be on your own, so it's kind of a more exposed line. It's kind of a time for you to shine, as if you haven't gotten that enough in the song already. But your lines in the chorus, in the tag, are exactly the same as the chorus. It's the vocals that change. So if you just think chorus and don't listen to the vocals, you'll be fine. And then you'll repeat that chorus progression twice. So again, if you're just singing in your head a chorus, it's twice through that progression. And then you'll finish out one more progression without any vocals, because the actual recording fades out and we can't do that. And you'll just end on a G altogether. So that's pretty much how that song goes, and I'm going to try and record a demonstration video too, but that might be a little bit sloppy because, like I said, my chops aren't quite up to par for this song, but I'll try. I'll try and get one in there so you can hear all the parts in context, and I'll probably screw up the solos, but that's fine, whatever. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.